All right. Are you a good listener, Mr. Aiken?
I've been known to be. Sort of.
Would you like to be paid for your listening skills?
Depends on what I got to listen to.
Well, if somebody just wanted to unburden themselves on you, not necessarily ask you to fix their problems, they just want to have you lend an ear.
Oh, cry on the shoulder guy?
More or less.
Sure. Why not?
Would you like to get paid for that?
Do I have to do it forever or just for a day?
Well, it's your job. That's your job.
No, I wouldn't want to do that.
No?
Would you?
I do, whether I get paid or not.
Well, I know that, but I mean, so do I. But can you imagine every day?
Well, they're in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Japanese rent men who are paid just to listen.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm curious how much they spend.
All right. Tokyo, Japan.
Mm-hmm. From
lonely pensioners to Japanese schoolgirls with shattered dreams, Takanobu Nishimoto,
guilty,
and his crew of middle-aged men will lend an ear to clients who would never dream of spilling their guts to a therapist or worse, their families. Anyone in need of company can sign up for this online service to rent an Osan, O-S-S-A-N, Osan.
Okay.
A man between the age of 45 and 55 for 1,000 yen or $10 an hour.
It's too bad Mughul's not a little older.
Yeah.
This sounds like he's immensely qualified for this. He can hear.
Sure. For me, the service is a hobby more than anything, says Nishimoto, who first came up with the concept 4 years ago and now has a growing network of more than 60 men across Japan.
Right.
The initial idea was to improve the image of guys my age, people who might not be spring chickens anymore and not taken so seriously. And while the 48-year-old professional fashion coordinator is used to renting himself out, he insists conversations is all he offers between the 30 and 40 clients a month, roughly 70% of whom are women.
Okay.
So they just want to yap in your ear.
So he does 70 a month.
He does 30 to 40 clients a month, 70% of them being women. So he's got basically one a day.
He makes $4,000? $4,000 a month?
40 times 10.
400?
That's per hour, though. That doesn't mean they only get you for an hour. They might have you more than an hour.
Okay. Doesn't sound very lucrative to me.
It doesn't sound like a lot of money.
No.
But then again, I don't know what 1,000 yen in Japan
They said $10.
Well, no. What I mean is I don't know what 1,000 yen, the value of that in Japan is what I'm trying to say.
Well, having spent some time there at concerts, I could tell you not a lot.
Okay. I wouldn't know. Never been there.
It's the same $10 we have here.
Okay. The people who rent me just asking me to keep them company for an hour or two, mainly to listen to them, he tells AFP between sessions, giving an example of a woman in her 80s who would book him every week for a walk around the park. I almost became like her son, he says. Other clients include a fisherman who was sick of waiting in solitary silence for a catch, a college student with the ambitions to get into the show business but who lacked family support, and an awkward young employee who did not know how to behave around his direct supervisor. Okay. Japan has struggled with the problem of social isolation. You're going to love this.
Okay.
Most notably, the phenomenon of, I'm going to try to say this, hikikomo. It's HIKIKOMON.
Hikikumen?
Hikikumen.
Hikikumen.
Yeah. Where people, often teens and young adults, refuse to leave the house or engage socially instead of opting to play video games or remain in their bedroom. So apparently that's an epidemic over there as well.
It's everywhere in the world that could afford a fucking, a handheld game, I guess.
I guess. So rather than go out and work or get a job or drive a car, or, have any social skills, they'd rather just stay in their bedroom and play their video games.
Yep.
That's it.
Stupid.
But the people who come to Nishimoto do not suffer from detachment from society or challenges adjusting to it. Rather, those who use the service say it allows them to forget the expectations of their family and friends and speak freely, an option which experts say is especially useful in Japan, where social roles can be tightly defined and expectations are rigid. Right. So basically, they just want to say what they really think. There's a different me depending on where I'm with my family or my friends or my boyfriend, says a 24-year-old after her session with Nishimoto. So basically this girl, whoever this is, she lives a lie. She isn't who she wants to be or is herself. She has to conform to every situation. Right. And I know that from personal experience, I know that I rub certain people the wrong way. Okay. i.e. somebody that Chris used to be associated with, or, a friend of mine whose other significant other doesn't care for me because I am who I am, and that's just who I am. Right. Regardless. Mm-hmm. So people have to hide who they really are when they're in certain company. Yep. They do. Yep. She explains, I created a me in a relation to others. Here, all that disappears because I'm talking to someone I don't know. Thanks to him, I feel like I'm understanding myself better. So in other words, she doesn't have to be a phony around this guy. Right. Well, that's good. A psychologist stresses that in Japan, there are social norms governing what can and can't be said, even with close associates. Okay. When you come up against something new, it might be difficult to talk about this with someone because you might not necessarily have a suitable person in your existing circles. Okay. It's difficult to know how to express yourself without bothering someone else. But by renting an osan, the relationship becomes a commercial one and thus follows different rules. In recent years, a number of agencies have been offering rent-a-friend services paid by the hour. Rent-friend. Rent-a-friend. That sounds like something Moogle would hire. Right. Mommy's money. Mm-hmm. Customers can rent an agency employee as a fake friend, a family member, or a companion for various occasions such as weddings, funerals, and parties. Isn't that known as an escort here? Yeah. Some use them just to have a conversation partner to ease times of loneliness and isolation and old age. The married Nishimoto says he has considered stopping the service several times, but found that he needed his clients just as much as they needed him. I never know exactly what they're going to ask for when they rent me. And of course, that's a bit scary, but it's also interesting. Honestly, I've never had problems with any of my clients, and I've had plenty of emotional experiences. Wow. That's something. So this guy makes a couple bucks, for saying, "What's on your mind today?" Oh, that's terrible. What are you going to do about that? Yeah. What a lousy gig. Wow. Wouldn't want that gig. So what's bothering you today? I mean, it really is. I mean, it's just basically a cheap therapist is what it is. It is.
It's an unqualified therapist.
Yeah, it's just a life coach or whatever.
Yeah. Well, dude, I've thought about doing that. I'd charge more than $10 an hour.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there are life coaching classes out there where you can take those and actually get certified to where you can actually charge real money.
Right.
I've actually looked into that.
Yeah, I've thought about that myself.
Because actually, I'm pretty damn good at that shit.
Well, I have the plaque on my wall saying about how I made a marriage happen.
That's true. You did.
You've seen that,
I've seen it. Yes, it's from John and Stephanie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They actually made a plaque for me.
I've seen it.